In today's news, Jamaican resident 68 swept into the sea while fishing in Carrot Bay. Serious times ahead, says opposition leader on law enforcement review. Minister de Castro rejects full UK control of law enforcement bodies, and YEP marks 20 years of service in the British Virgin Islands. These and more stories when To It For News returns.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 7. Introducing Travi Rose, Creative Director. Alex Lake, Businessman. Sean Black, Cinematographer. Dakari Wheatley Adams, Content Creator. Donandre Millwood, Educator and Musician. Hashim Dream, Entertainer. James Todman Sr., Contractor. Dr. Albert Tompkins, Psychotherapist. Walter Barrett, Author. Rakim Todman, Producer and Engineer. Kamal Letson, Photographer. Roosevelt Smith III, Sales Manager and Hospitality Professional. Leland Abraham, IT Technician and Cybersecurity Analyst. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, every Wednesday at 8 p.m., exclusively on 284 Media. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redefine yourself through the stories of real-life heroes. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, Raising a Generation of Greatness. Voted Top 35 Gentleman Podcast Worldwide by FeedSpot and BI Icon Award winner.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of To It For News. It is Friday, April 11th, 2025, and I am Jacques Wooding standing in for Ron Grant, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Happy Friday and thank you so much for joining us. Police have identified the victim of a drowning incident off the west coast of Tortola as Ransford George Burnett, a 68-year-old Jamaican national residing in Sea Cows Bay. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force confirmed this week that Burnett drowned earlier this week while fishing in Carrot Bay. According to preliminary police investigations, Burnett was fishing in what authorities described as a dangerous area when he was swept into the sea. Despite rescue attempts, he could not be revived. Burnett's body was recovered from the water and officially pronounced dead at the scene. The police say that no foul play is suspected in the incident. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has extended condolences to Burnett's family and friends in their statement. The western shores of Tortola, particularly challenging during certain weather conditions, can experience strong currents and waves that pose hazards to those near the coastline. Meanwhile, opposition leader Myron WALWYN says the current law enforcement review is the order in council through the back door. The review was conducted by the UK's Inspectorate of Constabulary and Fire and Rescue Services. The order in council is a threat by the UK to suspend the BVI's constitution and impose direct rule if the territory fails to implement governance reforms mandated by the Commission of Inquiry. In this week's debate, WALWYN said there are serious times ahead for the BVI, and the only way this can be addressed is by uniting together and not pulling down each other because of politics.
We see what is happening in this report. Nothing short of a takeover. You have to call it what it is. It's the council, the order in council through the back door. Find a way to take all the power away, because that's what the order of council was supposed to do. This country, Madam Speaker, has to come together. This country has to come together. We all live here. We all live here. Some have strong ancestral ties, which must be respected at all times. And we must be sensitive to those concerns because they are real concerns. Any country where the ancestral people are so few in numbers compared to everybody else, you must be sensitive to it. You have to be. You must be sensitive to the concerns, you must be sensitive to the fears. You have to be. But we cannot use it as a divisive tool among ourselves. All of us who call this country home, ancestral ties, whether you're like me, whose parents are not born here, but I born here. You have people who have one parent born here and one who isn't born here. You have people who have become belongers to the country that have all the rights that you have given to them. This chopping up of our people, chopping up for political purposes, to make some believe that they don't belong and this belong and that belong, those things are not helpful to us.
WALWYN says in this current situation, they are all under attack.
And if you go out to war, and you chop up, so you can't win nothing, what war are you going to win? What war are you going to win? You had some of the same people who are the orchestrators of this kind of trouble. So they call in a match when the COI happened. It was them and Jesus down there. Nobody studied them. You cannot be somebody dividing people and then expect to marshal everybody behind you when the time comes. Nobody will study you. We have got to put these social constructs in the back seat now and hold hands together as one people of the Virgin Islands because of what is happening to us. And if we can't see that, then dog eat our supper. Because while you fight against your own people, who are your ancestral people coming from Africa, and you're fighting against them, while other people from across Europe coming and taking up what you have, so you're there cussing me, or my mother and father ain't from here, and you're there cussing me, I cussing you, you cussing me, I cussing you. Somebody from overseas come take up the whole thing gone with it when we don't argue the thing gone.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Sherry De Castro has made it clear that while the BVI wants to strengthen its law enforcement policies, they have no intentions of surrendering it. De Castro's comments were made this week as she debated Volume 2 of the Law Enforcement Review compiled by the UK, which included 375 recommendations. The report has recommendations for agencies such as Customs, Immigration, the Financial Investigation Agency, and the prison to come under the direct rule of the governor. While admitting that the report has some good things in it, the minister has taken issue with how it has packaged and expressed its intentions.
While we will strategically, just like how we go through bills, I think we're going to have to do that with this, and go through line by line and clause by clause. You ain't really got a clause, but you know what I mean. And really go through this report and decide the things that we will accept. Because there's a clear, calculated effort to centralize power. And you know, it's very creative, you know, because I believe law enforcement has become the Trojan horse. It's the tool through which greater authority is being assaulted under the guise of public safety. So we're using public safety to assert dominance and authority. But Madam Speaker, from what I've seen here today, the elected government, the elected House stands against such a move, because I believe we all see that the price of silence is sovereignty. And that's not something we're willing to accept. We intend to advance as a people, as a territory, and as a nation. And Madam Speaker, while we want to strengthen law enforcement, we do not intend to surrender it.
Minister de Castro says the territory will not be sidelined in building its law enforcement agencies.
The report it claims to be a roadmap, but I'll end by more so speaking to the people of the territory who are listening, because if they're saying that we have a roadmap in front of us, I have two questions that I want to close by asking. Whose road is it? And who is driving? And if we read the report, I think we're intellectual enough to realize the answers to those questions. Madam Speaker, the people of the Virgin Islands are not passengers in their own country. And as elected officials who are to speak for our people, I believe I can categorically say in closing that we will not allow policies to be passed down from afar. We will not allow merit to be dismissed based on board place. And we will not let colonialism wear a new face while pretending to be our friend.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service. Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Angie, how can I get my claims paid quick? Rent's due next week.
CG processes 99% of claims within 5 days. Remember when I was hang gliding with those goats? I caught a gust of wind and flew right into a moving car. Every appendage was in the cast, and they paid fast and fairly. That's what I get for trusting a man with a mustache and an eye patch. Now I gotta go. I'm meeting the guy who bedazzled my toes.
99% of claims are processed within 5 days. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with news that the Youth Empowerment Program is celebrating 20 years of service to children and families in the British Virgin Islands, with activities planned for early May. YEP Executive Director Stacey Mather, who has been with the program since its inception, reflected on the legacy it continues to build.
Sometimes I have to give myself a reality check, because I can remember when I started working on YEP, I had a yellow pad in my bedroom writing the ideas of what YEP could look like, what it could be. It was a daunting task because the BVI had a need, but what would be needed to fill that need and what it would look like was completely a risk. Now, for example, yesterday I was coming out of the bank, and a former YEPie, who's now a grown lady, and she has a child who attends YEP, is saying to me, I'm so proud because she's able to share what she experienced with her son. So that continuity of young people who have gone to YEP, who are now adults and can testify and say, this program was all of this for me. It was a home, it was a fun place, it was a place where I could grow, a place I could be myself, a place I could feel protected, but above all, it was theirs. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing some flashbacks, and you can see young people sharing and saying, YEP was awesome, YEP was the place to be. So that impact that is still existing, where you had a 10-year-old who's now a 28-year-old or whatever saying, hey, I love this place and I still have fond memories and I want to see it continue. That's the impact. That's what gets me bubbly inside.
Mather was joined by Deputy Director Bianca Dugan to announce plans for a Spirit Week from May 5th to 10th to commemorate the milestone during a recent interview on Tweet for Media. Founded in 2005 during a cement shortage that delayed construction until 2007, the program has served approximately 10,000 young people in its 2-decade history, according to the program officials.
This was in 2003, 2002. I was working at the Ebenezer Thomas Primary School in Seacoast Bay. And I had just finished my graduate degree and I wanted to become a principal. But I was told by the ministry at the time, the department, that I was too young. And I would have to wait a few years. And I had a friend of mine, Noni Georges, who was having conversations with Dr. Pickering. At that time, he was in office, and Dr. Henry Jarecki about what could be done. There was a lady working on Guana Island. Her son was involved in foul fights and dog fights and everything, and she would not be able to monitor him at home. And Dr. Jarecki, Noni got involved in it. I think at the time, it was a question of how could they reduce the latchkey children in our territory, children who are unsupervised. So Noni pointed me towards Dr. Jarecki. I had a series of meetings with him, and he said, go figure out something. And I wasn't sure where it would go, but it became something where I did some research. I did quite a few interviews with him and people from overseas. I had to present my ideas with him to the cabinet of the Virgin Islands at the time. And eventually, he donated $1 million. Dr. Pickering, Honorable Alvin Christopher at the time, was able to help us get some land in the area. And we went to work. And we started construction, I think, in 2005. There was a cement shortage. We finished in 2007. We wanted to open with 40 children. We had 80 children. And, we've always been surpassing what we're supposed to do. Because when a child comes to you and they look up at you and they said, "Can I come?" What are you supposed to say, Ron?
The anniversary celebration will include multiple community events, beginning with Rep the YEP Day on May 5th, when residents are encouraged to wear the organization's colors of orange, gray, black, or white.
The 20th years and for our anniversary, we have a Spirit Week. Okay. The Spirit Week is going to begin May 5th and it's going to end May 10th. On the 5th, we're having our Rep the YEP Day. So we're asking the community to please wear YEP colors such as orange, gray, black, or white. And also, if you have a YEP branded t-shirt, we would like you to also wear that t-shirt as well. So it's Rep YEP Day on the Monday. On the Tuesday, we're going to have a Fill Pantry Day. We have selected the District 7 and 8 pantry to be filled. So we're asking that the community to please bring donations. Donations are accepted. You could bring them to YEP itself, and then we'll take them to the pantries of the 7th and the 8th district. On Wednesday, we're having our open house. Our open house is going to start at 11 and end at 6. And again, we're encouraging the community to please come out and just step in to see what it is to be a YEPie for that day. Activities such as interactive games on our court. We're going to have interactive sessions in our computer room. You'll be able to see what the kids are doing in the craft room, painting, and of course, you get to have a taste of our hands of our YEPies from the Beyond the Plate program.
Beautiful.
Okay. On the Thursday, we have a Flashback Thursday. So we're asking all alumni from YEP, if you have been to YEP before, to please just post any picture that you may have or any memory that you would have while you were at YEP. And also on social media. And on Friday, we have a family game night. The location is to be announced, but the time that we're looking at is between 6 to 8 p.m. Okay. And again, we're encouraging all families to please come out and support that cause. On Saturday, we would like to do a colorful walk run, where the walk is going to begin from YEP grounds. Our first stop is the Willow Whitley Primary School, and our next stop is the Beef Island Beach, and we return to YEP, where we're going to have a time capsule ceremony. So with this time capsule ceremony on the compound at YEP, we're hoping to just bury different memorabilia of YEP.
Mather also hinted at an upcoming announcement regarding expansion to Virgin Gorda in partnership with Unite BVI, noting that the organization had originally hoped to establish 8 centers throughout the territory.
An announcement should be coming on that within the next few months.
Okay.
That project is going ahead. We've got tremendous support from Unite BVI, and I want to thank the team of Unite BVI for everything they've done in supporting YEP over the years, and other donors over the years. We've had a lot of persons who have been in support of YEP, whether it's financial or in kind, and I just want to take this opportunity and say thank you to all of them for believing in the vision and the great work that we do at YEP. So yeah, there will be an announcement coming soon. I don't want to speak on it, but I do appreciate you bringing it up because it is paramount. It's been 20 years and we had hoped originally to have 8 of them across the territory, but that has not been something that was accepted initially. And now that we have a partner in Unite BVI willing to step in and make that happen for us, we're hopeful that in the coming months there will be an announcement or there will be some sign that will indicate movement.
YEP provides free programming during after-school hours, weekends, and holidays, which Matha described as a key benefit to working parents and the broader community. Dugan, who recently joined as Deputy Director, expressed her commitment to the organization's future.
As Mr. Mitchell said, Ron, the foundation has been laid, and it is my hope that in the next 20 years that I'm able to carry on this legacy, as he said, continuation. So continuation of great things. Great things happens at YEP. So it's a continuation.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick break, but stay with us because there is more when we return.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Pop the Balloon or Find the Connection. Let's meet our first contender, ladies. Okay, Joey, so do you have any toxic traits?
I'm very restrictive. I don't give more time. What you get is what you get. I don't like to give unlimited time. That's it.
Okay, can you tell us why you popped your balloon?
That's a little too restricted for me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, ladies, so let's meet our second contender.
Sorry, excuse me. Why did you pop a balloon? I could give you minutes, data, unlimited call, overseas call, fiber. What else you need?
My friend used to date you. You are scam. She used to be for everything and more. Nothing to offer.
Okay, ladies, let's welcome our last contender. You look nice. Can you tell us your name?
Thank you. My name is Christian Charles Thomas. They call me C Sweetie.
What do you have to offer these ladies?
Well, security, trust, unlimited time, and I'm pretty fast.
Okay, so do you have any deal breakers?
Nah, but here's my number. 444-4444. Y tú, vida ilimitada.
Okay, guys, so no pop balloons.
For a fast, reliable, and secure connection for your personal or business life, call us at 444-4444 or visit any of our CCT stores and we'll get you connected with the perfect match for you.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. In an industry where reputation is everything, one name has become synonymous with construction excellence in the British Virgin Islands, and that name is James Todman. For nearly 5 decades, Mr. Todman has been building structures across the territory. He reflected on his humble beginnings during a recent interview on 284 Media's The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman.
My name is James Todman, which everybody know the face and know the hair. My upcoming wasn't always that bright.
Okay.
But I give God thanks to it at today. Growing up, I didn't finish high school. I didn't reach the high school, not finish. I didn't get there. I came out in class 5. And at that time, you couldn't get to high school because I didn't pass the primary 5 exam. So I went on to Scott, spent a year there, and then I came out, my uncle, Milton Smith. I went out to law and traded him 1976 in the school building of the school, Calby.
Okay.
So even though I didn't reach high school, I still lauded a trade by a school.
Right.
Which today pays off.
Absolutely.
And, I walked with him there building that school from April to have that school ready for September. That's the school to the foot of to the end of Carrot Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, you take the hill,
Leonora
which you get
Delville?
Delville, which you get destroyed. So that's where I learned trade in Carrot Bay. In all days of growing up, and it's not like today. You know, you yourself wanted to do certain thing in order to have some kind of income.
Okay.
You know, so if I didn't went with him, you know, I still wanted to do something, you know, because in all growing up, I raised up in the yard with 88 and, you know, meat and calving and building rollers, general also, you know, we build the rollers as children. So I guess I had that little trend of doing a little carpentry in the early days, you know, so I still would do something.
Understood.
But I give my uncle thanks, and also Louise Malone. She's the one that I raised with.
Okay.
You know, and she is the one who take me to my uncle for me to learn a trade.
His company has built some of the territory's most significant structures, including the fire station in Roadtown, his first government contract back in 1988, and the Wheatley Building, one of Tortola's tallest structures. He had this to say about young people who may feel disadvantaged in the world due to academic challenges.
Everybody is not going to come out on the top in certain areas in the education system, but, you know, some of us is good with our hands. And to be able to get from here to Sydney, somebody had to build a boat. An engineer, all those things come by hands and your brains also, but you also have to stay focused on what you want. You got to set your map and stay where you want to be able to be successful. I always use the term, don't put money first. Money will come. If you put that first, you're not going to reach where you want to get. Stay focused. You want to learn a trade. If it's carpentry, stay focused on carpentry. In all growing up, we do a little bit of plumbing, you do a little bit of electrical, because construction, sometimes you don't have the carpentry end that you could. So an electrician will hire you maybe to help him with some pipe or something. But you grow up getting to know a lot of those things, a little plumbing. I did a little plumbing. I always remember a joke when I put up some spouting for my aunt. I know I'm doing a good job. When the real plumber come, you know, he said, well, who put up these brackets? Yeah, I thought I was doing a good job.
Okay.
Because the intent.
Okay.
And he said, but I put anything upside down. Then I started getting silent before I was bragging that I put them up.
Yeah,
you know, but you learn from that.
Absolutely.
And you don't let that keep you back. You next time now, you'll do it a lot better.
TODMAN expressed concern about younger generations not pursuing construction trades, noting that many want immediate success without understanding the years of commitment required.
A lot of our young people, you know, I always talk to Diane about it, Diane Stout, you know, that a lot of our young people is not following it, you know, which is sad.
What do you think that is?
Most of the young people today, they want, in simple word, they want a lot of things they want it now.
Okay.
It take me several years to get where I'm at. In the construction industry, I is about almost up to 40 years. You understand? Before in the 40 years I talking about is actually owning a company.
Got you.
You understand?
Before, yeah.
But I need before. I remember walking with us in the Scatliff right behind there, building benches school, building desks, building the blackboard and all those things. Before I went in, I walked with my uncle. And as I said, it wasn't about the money. You wanted a trade. You didn't reach to high school. You don't want your friends and your brothers or your sisters and all them go leave you.
Right.
So you stay focused that you got to come to be something.
The construction veteran hopes his story inspires others, particularly young people facing challenging circumstances similar to those he overcame. And viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com, on our WhatsApp channel, for which there should be a QR code on your screen, and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Jacka Wooding, and I'm hoping you have a safe and enjoyable evening. Goodbye.